Right now we're in Nashville, Tennessee. It's pretty hot and humid and muggy today. I can tell you the fans that we're running to try and stay cool are at least 3 times as loud as the phase converter. I actually have the idler motor for the phase converter directly underneath this lathe. If I reach around and turn this on, you can hear there's barely any noise that comes from the phase converter at all. It just sounds like a small fan humming in the background, so there's really no disruption to work. If anything, the largest consideration is, do I remember to turn it off before I go in the house at the end of the day? This is just an Acura 3 horsepower lathe, you know, a very straightforward machine, straightforward power requirements. And you'll see everything works fine. There's no lag starting up the motor. The spindle's running at 900 RPM. I can reverse the motor with no lag. There's no power loss going backwards and forwards. Let's dial in about let's do about a 40 thousandths cut on this and see, make sure everything's right here. See how this runs. You see, this isn't a very heavy cut. You know, ductile iron is pretty easy to machine, but you'll see there's certainly no power loss with a 3 horsepower lathe running off of a American Rotary phase converter. And again, this is the 10 horse unit. When you buy these tools, most of them are surplus from industry, so they're all going to be 3-phase. So I can either pay a premium to buy single-phase units that have a higher maintenance cost, that have a higher upfront capital cost, or I could figure out how to get 3-phase power at my house. Well, NES isn't going to run underground 3-phase to a residence here, so you know, figuring out a way to do that either with a phase converter or you know, just build a phase converter with a bunch of capacitors and have a bad experience. That's going to be my only way to go. After spending a little time cruising around on the web trying to figure out, well, who offers a solution for this, you know, I came across American Rotary. It was kind of a no-brain decision. It was a very affordable price point to get into what I wanted. I bought a 10 horse unit so I could run a 3 horsepower lathe and a 1.5 horse milling machine. So far it's been running just as smooth as silk. I can't tell that I don't just have 3-phase power running in the shop. You know, I don't use both machines at the same time, so I'm really nowhere near the capacity of this unit, so I can just keep on filling up my garage until I have all the tooling that I want. I think the next thing on my list is going to be a surface grinder. There's not much of a power draw there, but we'll be building it up. Installation and mounting was really easy. I wasn't sure where I wanted to put everything because I move things around my garage, so I decided to just use some rail and mount the unit on the back of the lathe. I've got my idler motor that just sets right underneath, and I actually just wired it straight into a single-phase plug. So I've got a 50 amp wall outlet wired up straight off of my breaker box. I can plug it in and then distribute power off to all the machines in my shop. Installation was really straightforward. Shipping was fast. I had everything in 2 days from the time that I ordered it. Like I said, wiring was easy. The instructions were very straightforward. The wire lugs inside of this unit to wire everything up in are very large, clearly labeled. There's only 5 of them, I believe, to wire everything up. So it was a really straightforward experience, and I couldn't have the equipment that I have in my garage right now without a company like American Rotary providing me this product. One of the parts that I make is it's just a roller that it's made of ductile iron, Durabar. And they're actually the rollers that roll against the extraction plates to pull tires out of tire presses for large tire companies. A good friend of mine, Rob, came over here last night and we started working on a smoker build. So we're up early this morning talking about you know, where we're going to go, what we hope to accomplish today, and my phone rings. And it's Chris from American Rotary. You know, he's in Nashville, just wants to talk to some customers, see how they're using the product, maybe shoot some video. You know, to me, the first thing that hit my mind is, oh man, I hate to disappoint you, but you know, I'm not a manufacturing company. I'm not going to show you anything impressive. I don't have, you know, rows and rows of your equipment. I haven't spent, you know, $100,000 on phase conversion gear. So I was just like, hey, I'm a home user. I'm working in my garage, just doing hobby stuff. You know, don't want to disappoint you. You know, responded with, no, that's what we want. You know, you're our target customer. You know, people who industrial users already have 3-phase. You know, we're looking for the homeowner, the guy doing the side work, just trying to make a little extra money, the guy who's trying to run his hobby equipment. And it was surprising, but that's exactly who I am. So you here we are 3 hours later. I'm talking, in person to a representative from American Rotary, having a great time talking about interests, getting to know each other. I don't know how you could possibly ask for a more personal person-to-company experience. It's, I've spent a lot of money with a lot of companies, and I can't say that I've ever had a representative from any of them standing in my garage. Because this is a holiday weekend with the 4th of July, we decided it would be a good time to start building the smoker that we've been talking about for a few years. As things are, we never really have time to work on projects. We've had this drawn on the board for months now. We're building a gravity feed cabinet-style smoker. Fuel goes into a box on the side. We're going to use a PLC furnace temperature controller to regulate the air coming in through the bottom. The hot exhaust gases from the combustion will fuel the barbecue chamber. So we've been talking about doing this for a couple of years. We finally got the time to do it. So it's just a couple of guys hanging out in the garage, having a good time, putting stuff together.